with you. How I love you. How I love you. Hari bol, hari bol, hari hari bol, hari bol, hari bol, hari hari bol. Mukunda Mahayat Govinda Bol, Mukunda
push song 1, Om Bur Buva.
Here.
Shri
Ganesha, Jai Shri Ganesha, Shri Ganesha, Jai Shri Ganesha. Om Bhurva Swaha, Mahajagati Nirmala. Om Bhurva Swaha, Mahajagati Nirmala. Ganesha, Jai Shri Ganesha, Shri Ganesha, Jai Shri Ganesha. Om Bhurva Swaha, Mahaganapati Deva Maha. Om Bhurva Swaha, Mahaganapati Deva Maha. We bow to the sign of Lord Shiva. We sing our glorious Lord. We pray to the one who is worshipped first, our heavenly God. Ganesha, Jai Shri Ganesha, Ganesha, Jai Shri Ganesha. Om Bhurva Swaha, Mahaganapati Deva Maha. Om Bhurva Swaha, Mahaganapati Deva Maha. Birth to revive our four holy hands, the blessing robe that adore. Words of the letter all the world, Shri Ganesha, Jai Shri Ganesha, Shri Ganesha, Jai Shri Ganesha. Om Swaha, Mahaganapati Namaha. Om Bhurva Swaha, Mahaganapati Nirmala.
Mataji, thank you so much. Thank you, Shree Mataji, for this meditation, for these vibrations, for gathering all of us here together. Okay, Shree Mataji, let's all offer the namaskars.
Which page is it?
361.
361. When do we start singing? Hello. Come closer. Yes. Okay, good. Hello. Queen of universe. Oh, hello. Universe. Oh, Shakti of Lord Shah. We surrender to you. We adore you and keep you in our hearts. Oh, Queen of universe. Oh, Queen of seven worlds. Oh, Shakti of Lord Shiva. adore you and keep you in our heart. O Queen of Swadhisthana, O Queen of Swadhisthana, we worship the of Sri Brahma. We surrender to you, we adore you, and keep you in our heart. O Queen of Manipur, O Queen of Manipur, O Cliffy of Vishnu, we surrender to you, we adore you, and keep you in our heart. O Queen of Anahata, O Queen of Anahata, O Queen of Nirvana, we surrender to you, we adore you, and keep you in our heart. O Queen of Vishuddhi, O Queen of Vishuddhi, O Mother of Sri Ram, we surrender to you, we adore you, and keep you in our heart. O Queen of Agya, O Queen of Agya, O Mother of Jesus Christ, we surrender to you, we adore you, and keep you in our heart. O Queen of Sahasrara, O Queen of Sahasrara, O Queen of Nirmala, we surrender to you, we adore you, and keep you in our heart. O Queen of Hollywood, O Queen of Hollywood, O Adi Shaktiman, we surrender to you, we adore you, and keep you in our heart.
Jai Shri Mataji, we are going to begin our evening with lecture. So let's all stay in Sahasrara while we listen to Shri Mataji's talk.
Shree Mataji, brothers and sisters, and newcomers. The 2 nights that we've been in this tent, Shree Mataji has talked about the Nabi and the heart. And tonight she's going to talk about Vishuddhi. Vishuddhi is that center in all of us where we relate to ourselves and to others. We'll become Sahaja Yogis and Sahaja Yoginis, and we'll take the sword in hand and with Krishna.
The prophets are born and create a ripple in our consciousness. A new dimension to our understanding, to religion, dharma, which has to be assimilated and has to be understood that whatever the previous prophets have said has to be culminated into something else. So, as we can say, Muhammad Sahib has said that all these prophets who have come on this earth have created a new ripple and also has sustained human beings with a newer evolution, a newer foliage opening into them. The idea of human beings of newness is that we have to give up all that is old and we have to become new. Or they think that newness means absolutely a juxtaposition condition in which one has to rise. And this is the cause of the folly of many people in the West as well as in the East. Whenever a new theme started, like we can say that first of all, a great saint came on this earth and he found that the people are following the idol worship in a very wrong way, because it is said in the Bible that whatever is created by Mother Earth should not be reproduced and worshipped. So they created another extreme religion out of it, saying that nothing should be worshipped, but it is said whatever is reproduced by the Mother Earth. So there are so many such things all over the world which are created by the Mother Earth. So they should not be worshipped by reproducing them and making images out of them. When such a prophet died, saying that this should not be done, one should not worship images, the other side of it started the extreme, going to the extreme that there should be no worship even if the Mother Earth has created. So all the human beings were divided into extreme conditions. One situation comes in where one has to say that this should not be done. So people take up that theme and just start building up onto that and saying that this should not be done as told by the Prophet. Of course, after the death of the Prophet, when the Prophet is living, nobody listens to him. They all torture him, bother him, do all kinds of things, and ultimately they may even kill him. Then another point is, every prophet is born at a different period of time. So depending on the time when he is born, he talks of a particular problem. Say when Muhammad was born, Muhammad Sahib said very clearly that you should not drink. So people said that all right, we will not drink but we can smoke. So he had to rectify himself. He said, I am the last who has come, but he found that it is not so. So he came back again as Nanaka to tell people that do not smoke also. Like that, the persons or the group of persons who follow one incarnation go to another extreme and try to push down all the traditions, all that has come so far built up, like cutting the whole tree and start their own tree, which is artificial. Then the quarrel started When Muhammad Sahib was driven to another level, and then Nanak's disciples were driven to another level where they just thought they have no relationship with each other, which is not true. Afterwards also, so many such things have happened in this world. We can see that any revival starts, people go to the extreme of it and get completely ruined. In Christianity, you will find the same thing happen. When Christ came in, whatever problems he faced, he talked about them. But the main thing he had to talk about the resurrection, about the ascent, and he talked about the ascent. He talked about the spirit, and in his resurrection he showed that he ascended. But people did not stick to that point. They never thought that you have to ascend in Christianity. Nobody bothered that you have to ascend. They took a small little things from somewhere. Also, a person came later on called St. Paul, who was not at all with Christ or anything. He started a religion of Christianity which was all absurd, against Christ, anti-Christ. None of these prophets have discarded any prophet who came before them. Now the problem came in that one has to integrate. And Muhammad Sahib knew that a day will come when this integration problem will start. And he talked a lot about Sahaja Yoga, in the sense he said when the resurrection time will come. He talked more about resurrection than about doom time. Most surprising thing is about Qayamat. He spoke very little. He spoke really about the resurrection time, because that was the problem. The problem that they face, they talk about. I have told you how Buddha talked only about Atma Sakshatkara and not about God, because those people who went to God or thought of God or just studied God thought they were gods themselves. So he said you must get your self-realization. Then Mahavira, who talked about the hell where people can go, because that was his job, the part of it and the part of it and the part of it and the part of it. These are the different aspects of human beings which they had to awaken. Different aspects. When Muhammad Sahib started teaching people to do namaz, people used to laugh at him. What is he doing? Why does he want us to put hands like this? Why does he want us to sit down or put our hands on the knees? Now you understand, as Sir Yogis, what it means, that he wanted us to improve our nabhis first, our dharma first. All this movement was to jerk out the kundalini, but without realization being there, namaz would not work out. You may break your knees, you may do what you like. But the extremes people catch hold of it and not the reality. And they make a fuss out of it, and they may create a big organizations and things, and that's how it is spoiled. So when he said that Allahu Akbar is to be said with your fingers in your ears, you all say that, isn't it? All the Sahajogis say with this finger in their ears, Allahu Akbar. Because you know this is the finger that represents the Vishuddhi, and the Vishuddhi chakra, deity Shri Krishna, becomes the Virata, the Akbar. So when you say about Akbar, you have to put your fingers into your ears and you have to say Allahu Akbar. Whole relationship and everything was never understood. For Indians, Shri Krishna was their avatara. For Western people, Christ was their avatara. For other people of Arabistan, Muhammad was their avatara. How can that be? They are all related to each other. So how to relate it to each other is a problem of Sahaja Yoga. When they come from different communities and different fixed ideas, it's impossible to stir them and tell them that you are all one. We talk of Hindu-Muslim unity. For example, Muhammad Sahib didn't know there were problems like that. But Nanaka did say, we have come to do Hindu-Muslim unity. But in the outside, if you do the Hindu-Muslim unity or any unity, it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out in the outside relationship. Even your brother may not be your own brother. If it is working outside. But if the spirit is awakened within you, then spirit is the one which is the connection with the whole, with the Virat, with Akbar. When Akbar is to be felt, you have to have your realization, otherwise you are just talking in the air. You don't know who is this Akbar. You have to get connected to that Virat, and that Virat is the primordial being. We are actually not integrated at all because we have different incarnations. Even if you are not absolutely atheist, even if you don't say that you do not believe in God or believe in something else which is anti-God, even if you believe in God, you believe in God in fragmentations, in his different aspects. But you don't see him in collectivity. You have to see that he is one God. Everybody says he is one God. Of course he is one God. I am one person, but I am also a housewife. I have to do some work for my household. I am also a sister of somebody. I am also your mother and mother of my own children and also a grandmother. So I have so many various aspects of my work which I do. One person has to do it. When we talk of God as one, we think he is Rock of Gibraltar, just one piece. Even Rock of Gibraltar, if you go and see, it is not one piece. Anything in this world you cannot say is one piece. It has to be a compound or a mixture of something. Then how can God be just one piece hanging in the air like one? God is one. So we'll not have any other aspect of God. God has many aspects, which one has to understand. So there are two concepts which work out in this world, I feel. One is that they believe that there is only one God and there cannot be many aspects of God, which is wrong. Christ has said, those who are not against me are with me. So this kind of a mental conception about God, that he is just like Rock of Gibraltar. See now this pendant you have done it. There are so many lights. They are all giving one light to all of us. They are not giving separate lights, are they? How are they fighting with each other? What is the fight going on? They are adding to the same light. This is one pendant, but we have so many lights. We cannot do with one light. At different periods, a person has to be born. Every period, a person had to be born to enlighten one aspect of human awareness and consciousness. Variety has to be there because human beings are varied. And the variety is that supposing you are supporting somebody's right-sidedness, then there should be somebody who will come and support the left-sidedness. And it is all done so well within us, but it is only human beings in their obstinacy and in their ignorance cannot see it. We all are made the same way, if you see in the whole world. Of course, there is variety in appearances. Maybe an Indian looks like an Indian, and but in India only you can see Indians have so many different faces. You can find all colors and all kinds of things on their faces. In India is the only place where you find all kinds of people. You can have people like Russians, you can have people like Japanese, Chinese, you can have people like Africans. All kinds of people are in this country to show that all people can be called as one race as Indians. Now, it is not always ignorance that makes people forget that we are all one. Every human being laughs the same way. Does he laugh in a different way? If he has to eat the food, he masticates the same way. He cries the same way. When he cries, his crying is the same. His actions are the same way. If a woman is angry with her husband, yesterday I saw Birju Maharaja's program with my brother, and I was amazed how universal we are in our expressions. He was showing how a woman gets angry with the husband and how she behaves. If you see those actions which are depicted, you will be amazed that they are done by all the women all over the world. And the reaction of man, if you want to see, all the men act in the same way. My husband was secretary to Shastriji, you know that. And he went with Lal Bahadur Shastri to Tashkent at his last time. But also he went once to Yugoslavia. And there, who was he? General Tito was where? Huh? Yugoslavia. And General Tito's wife, you see, got very friendly with Mrs. Shastri. Both were very friendly. So Shastriji warned his wife, see now, you are great friends, and now don't start crying like an Indian woman when you leave. So poor thing was controlling her tears all the time. But she told me I was controlling, but it is she who started crying. And such a lot, and then she started crying loudly, hugging me. So I just could not control myself. I also gave in, I also started crying. And both the husbands started looking at the ground. So basically, all the women, all the men in the whole world react the same way to a situation. And you can see their reactions very clearly when it comes to children. They all act in the same way, in the same manner. Supposing they hear that two children are caught up in the air somewhere or something is happening to them, the whole world will be worried about them, how they are going to be saved. Something must be done to save them. The whole world will be praying to God, oh God, please save these two children are caught up there somehow or other. Everybody will be worried as if their own child is there. Even when it comes to death, I've seen that. When there was airspace, the spacecraft was going to land, and people were worried that they may be lost. I know in every masjid, in every temple, in every church and everywhere, they were Americans. Nobody thought of Americans, what religion, anything. To them it was a part of human beings, you see. The human bondage started acting. That time they never thought what country they were, what Americans have done to Indians, nothing of the kind. They just thought, oh God, these people are, oh God, please save them. Everybody prayed to them, prayed to God and prayed for them that they should be saved. That time, what had happened to us? How did we forget? We touched the reality at that time. And that is what it is. Anybody who tries, these Jews, when they were troubled by Hitler, everybody's sympathies were with them. But when these Jews started troubling the Muslims there, everybody's sympathies were with Muslims. Then why don't you think on religion? Even the Jews had sympathies with Muslims. Then we don't think what differences we have with them. None of the people I heard said, all right, they are punished or it's all right. Not even Jews. So the part that is within us, which is human, becomes absolutely troubled when we see some other human being is tortured. Of course, with these horrible ideas of fanaticism or maybe fear or maybe aggressiveness or whatever it is, we may try to be cruel. If you ask the people of Germany, how do they feel about the massacre? They just put down their heads. They said, we don't know, we were not ourselves. How we did it, we don't know. How it happened, we just don't know how it worked out. So when the violence is over, you just start feeling, oh God, I am a human being, they were human beings. So this oneness comes in, the feeling, the awareness comes in. It is not so in the animals so much. If they have to work, if they have to be active, they will be together. But if something dies, they are not bothered. Even if a child, or say of a monkey, is sick, the mother will be worried. She'll be screaming, shouting. But if the thing is dead, she will just throw away the child on one side and get up. It's only the human beings who can feel that oneness. So in our nest, this was given to us by Sri Krishna's advent. He gave us this awareness of human, or he keeps that awareness within us. We have to accept him as a person who gives us this awareness of human relationship. And whenever there has been problem, like this, somebody told me that in Somnath people believe that Sri Krishna came as Muhammad Ghazni to give lessons. So many Hindus believe. It was Sri Krishna who came as Muhammad Ghazni to give a lesson to these horrible Brahmins who were making money out of that temple. So many Hindus believe that. That to punish these horrible Brahmins who were making money, he had to come as Muhammad Ghazni to break that idol which was giving them so much money, and they were making all kinds of you can say extractions from the poor devotees who were devoted to that temple. It was only he could do it. So we have to understand that when we are not integrated, we cannot feel the integration of our being. We are not integrated, that we have to realize. Our mind works in one way, our heart works in another way, our liver works in another way. As I told you, I am quite surprised that when they have told that don't drink, those people who follow these religions still go on drinking. But apart from that religion, forget it. They see a man going into a pub and falling and faltering, coming out, still they enter into the same to get to the same situation. Why? Because the mind tells them not to do it. Mind says don't go. The brain says don't go. But their heart is weak. They cannot. The habits. All the habits come through this kind of disintegration. We are so disintegrated within ourselves that if a person wants to do something, he just does the opposite of it. And that is the reason why we accept this kind of juxtapositions in life, what was told by him about music and about everything. Music has come out of God's love to us. Anything that is not for God's love is not music. I'll give you an example. There was a lady who used to do some sort of a kawali. And I was on the censor board, I censored her kawalis. And I said, this is not a kawali. She said, why? I said, this is called as mujra. This is a horribly sensuous and horrible thing. It's an insult of God. You can't sing like that. So she said, no, this is kawali. I said, do you know kawali was never sung by women and was never done in this dirty fashion, the way like a prostitute you are singing this kawali. It's always, all the music was in the praise of God. And that's why Muhammad Sahib said that all the music should be in the praise of God and should not be. So we had other things like Naat and all that. But you find, even at the time of Sri Krishna, all the music was to be just done for Rasa. Ra is energy, Sa means side. With Radha, they were playing together, playing Rasa, and that's how they were doing the circulation of the energy to integrate themselves and singing the music. It is for that. But you find that people don't understand. They use music for sensuousness. It is anti-God. This music force has come to us to praise God, that's all, for nothing else. For doing all kinds of dirty things and singing all kinds of funny things. Imagine, and the reaction is built in so much. When he said that all the music should be in the name of God, we have a person like Aurangzeb who would not take to any music. He was such a staunchy fellow. And the other Muslims who came in would not sing anything that is qawwali or anything, would sing horrible ghazals, which are just describing the separation of a woman and a man and all kinds of dirty things. With this disintegrated temperaments, people took to anything that came to them just to please themselves. When the advent of this thing, like Umar Khayyam, who is he? He is anti-God, absolutely anti-God man. Horrible. But people appreciate him very much. Umar Khayyam, what a poetry it is. They appreciate. Why? Because the disintegrated part of their heart likes Umar Khayyam when he sings, oh, we should drink here, what is there in this life, we don't know what is going to be there. Because Muhammad Sahib has said not to drink, he must sing such a song. This is the poetry of Mr. Umar Khayyam, who is being very much respected everywhere. And he is very much regarded as a great poet in Iran, where today Khomeini is one great horrible man is born, and he still respects this Umar Khayyam. I don't know how can he respect him. What a contrast it is, just see, what a contrast, this Umar Khayyam singing dirty songs. They are not in praise of God. Music which is not in the praise of God is not music, is ashleel, is filth, is dirt. Our classical music in India was based on Om. Even at Kundalini, when it reaches here, at the Vishuddhi Chakra, it makes all the sounds of A, A, I, U, A, I, O, Au, Ru, Ru, Lu, Aha. All these 16 vowels are coming from the 16 chakras, or the sub-chakras, or the petals of this Vishuddhi Chakra. These are Bija Mantras of the Vishuddhi Chakra. All the vowels come from here. And when we sing dirty songs, we spoil this chakra Vishuddhi. That's why all the people who sing these dirty songs have to take to drinking, because I think they can't bear, or they can't do it. They can't sing these bad songs unless and until they take to some sort of an escape from God. So music and drinking started going hand in hand. In the West, the music broke all its traditions because they had no sense left in them to recognize that music is meant only for God, only for hymns, to be sung in the praise of God. All music should be in the praise of God. All ragas should be in the praise of God. We had no namaz system of different times, but we have a system of music in different times. At different times, a certain music should be played, where you describe a mood, and all the moods that are described have to relate themselves to God. There is no other mood that is enjoyable to the spirit that does not relate to God. There is no mood which one can enjoy. Even Bibhatsa, the mood of Bibhatsa is grotesque. Even that mood one enjoy, one can listen to when they see the filth and dirt. The left side is so scientific. Our music system is extremely scientific because it was taken in the form of this music, when actually the Kundalini moving into different, these Sapta Swaras. These 7 Swaras are built in our 7 chakras. We start with Sa, then Re, Ga, Ma, Mother, Pa, Da, Ni. My name also starts with Ni. These 7 swaras are built in with 7 notes, and there are vikrutis, vikrut swaras, which are the side, other chakras that we have to make about 12 swaras. But nobody understood the real meaning of music. Sharada, the goddess of Saraswati, is the one who carries the message of Virata within us and tells us how to sing. She tells us what is appealing to God. How these ragas were made also, just think of it. Because first they chose the notes, the aroha, avrohas, the going up and down, which was appealing to God. So the melodies were created. Melodies are fixed. You cannot change the melodies, the notes, because they found out that at this point the spirit awakened. On the vibrations they found out. They found out that when they sang, this way it worked out. The veena they played, and they found out the exact swaras. Exact swaras, which would really make you feel nice. Now you know that those people who have come from the West don't understand any Indian music on the mental level. But they understand at the spiritual level, because their spirits get filled with joy and the vibration starts flowing. The sense of music, this depiction of music was done by Sri Krishna. It is he, the one, who taught Tala. Of course, we can say that Shiva is the one who dances the Tala. But the one who depicted it for human beings, who gave the message to the world, how the Tala should be, is Sri Krishna through his dancing movements. He kept the Tala all the time. Like the way he stands itself suggests how he kept the Tala. And he played the Murli also, to suggest that music is what God's love is. His music is suggestive of God's love. That suits you, that clears you, that makes you happy, that gives you joy. And that's why he suggested through his singing, through his music. He never wrote any poetry, did he? He never wrote any poetry as such. But when he spoke in Gadya, in the prose, it became Gita. Just when he spoke, it became Gita. Of course, people have tried to spoil quite a lot of it, the rhythm, which I feel sometimes when people recite it. But still, we must say when he really created it, it was for human beings to create poetry out of prose. Out of prose, he made it communicable, because people could first only understand the music, the rhythm of the music. They didn't understand much words and things, but he made it possible. Even in Quran, if you read, the few words before starting every chapter, nobody understands. They are all nothing but mantra bijas. But they put it there. They knew people won't understand, but he put it there because people would understand. All these things you may not understand. You may not understand me either, possibly. But whatever they did was for your hita. This is what happened at the time of Sri Krishna, that he established the concept of hita. Because it was said that you must speak the truth and you must speak the thing that is sweet, priya. Satyam bruvet, priyam bruvet. It was the message of Sri Krishna that you must speak sweetly. Those people who have got a proper Vishuddhi Chakra speak very sweetly. Their voice has that enchanting method of capturing the hearts of and not debasing them but elevating them. So he said, you must do it sweetly. That was his main theme. Everything he did so sweetly that he created a leela out of his doings. It was a leela that he created. He said, this world is not a place where you should be serious, you should be sharp, you should be tense, but it's a leela. Just see the leela, the drama. The whole is a drama. So the whole thing is very sweet. If you see the whole world as a drama, it becomes a sweet thing. The sweetness of it, even if you see a person trying to be funny, you get a joy out of it. If you know it's a drama, you don't get worried if somebody comes and murders somebody, you know it's all fake. It's a drama. It's a drama going on. And that's what he told people, that the whole thing is a leela, so that people should not get into serious moods and actually start acting in the drama in the real way. Like you see, you appoint somebody as, say, Shivaji Maharaj, and there is somebody coming from the other side, and he takes a sword, and he really hits the fellow. Then you say, this Shivaji Maharaj actor is no good. He gets absolutely involved into the thing and he hits the other person. So it's a drama, and he made it into a leela. Leela because it's a drama, no doubt. But when you get realized, you start seeing the drama and the play. And the whole thing is, you must have seen that most of the Sahajogis are always laughing, because they see the way things are happening. Even when they see a guru misbehaving or something, they just feel like laughing, how absurd it is. Like somebody came today to talk to me, and he told me, Mother, I have been to all kinds of nonsensical things. And he was just laughing. He said, I laugh at them now, what I did. He said, I went to one guru who used to give name to people. Say this nama, that nama. I made such efforts. I went to people, recommend my case, because he was not so rich, you see, so he was never got the name. And he was saying, give me the name, I must have the name. And the guru was saying, no, you have to wait still. He said, I poured so much money in his seva peti, and which were large seva petis were put. I did everything, but he would not give me a name. And ultimately, when it came to that, he said, all right, I'll give you a name. And he gave me a name, which I started taking. I really became mad after that. I started getting headaches, this, that. Then he said, all right, you have to suffer. If you don't suffer, you must go through it. You asked for the name, so you have it. And when he came to me, he was looking like nothing on earth, I tell you. In a very funny shape he came to me. But now he's completely cured. I could not even recognize him the other day. I just saw him. I said, oh God, are you the same person? So he said, Mother, now I laugh at all these things, and I just see that how people are stupid. To go to these false people, follow false ideas and false conceptions, and how they are missing the point. And he asked me a question, have they to go to that limit of destruction to come to you? I said, I don't know about them, what they have decided. But it is true that people are so stupid that they take to all these ideas and all these negative things much more easily than to the positive things, because of the Vishuddhi chakra being spoiled. If your Vishuddhi chakra is not spoiled, your hands are working better. Many people who get realization do not feel vibrations in the hand because their Vishuddhi chakras are not alright. Now what does that mean, that your Vishuddhi chakra is not alright? First of all, by temperament, you are not a collective person. By temperament. You are not a person who enjoy collectivity much. Like people who are fussy. I want this, I want that, I want to sleep on a proper bed, I must have this, I must do that. This kind of a I. Those who have too much I in them, because both ego and super ego start from this Vishuddhi chakra. You see, a man who is an egoistical person is not able to see the collectivity at all, because he is separated with the rest of them. His ahankara covers his being so much that he cannot enjoy the collectivity. Now, you see Sri Krishna lived with whom? With gopis, little boys. He went and used to look after his cows, just looking after the cows. None of these incarnations you'll find were interested in rich people or anything. He went and stayed with people who were very ordinary from the worldly point of view. And there he played, and there he did all these tricks of sweetness. He used to steal the butter. He used to steal the butter. And many people who are criticizing him always say, oh, he was a thief. Yes, he was a thief. He was the thief of the thieves. So what? He used to steal the butter because this butter was taken to Mathura by these ladies to get some money. And that was giving more health to all these horrible Rakshasas who were in Mathura. So he didn't want this to go there and give them this good health. And the best thing was to steal the butter so they don't get it and they starve on they have their deficiencies of the vitamin A and D, you can call it, and that they suffer from bad throat and they have no strength in their hands when they pick up their swords. So this was the way to hit them so that they could not fight the forces of good. So in that he proved that a higher goal is to be achieved by giving up smaller, silly, stupid goals. The hita is the main thing. Because when he said that you don't speak the truth, otherwise people will be hurt. Alright, so what should you do? You hurt the people, so you don't speak the truth. Or you speak the truth, you hurt the people, so both cannot go together. Like if I tell somebody, oh, you are so bad, that person gets hurt. Now if I don't tell that person is lost. So what to do? He found out the solution, so he said, Satyam vadet, hitam vadet, priyam vadet. He put the word in between as hita. The word hita means good to your spirit. Whatever is good for your spirit. Hita word means good for your spirit. It has nothing to do with material thing. It means for your spirit. For example, if I tell somebody that you should not do that, he may feel bad today. But if he recognizes that mother is telling me for my good, he will do it and he will gain by that in his hita. Or else if he does not do it later on, supposing I don't tell him and if he doesn't know about it, or even if I tell him he does not do it, he is going to feel bad. So it is not priya to his spirit. It is not priya to him. So if you do something that is the hita of a person, sometimes you have to tell a person. Sometimes it may look very, very painful. The other day I told somebody that you don't cure anybody because you are not strong enough to cure. He felt very hurt. So then I'll say, all right, go ahead, you better cure others, but don't come back to me. Then he'll land up in a lunatic asylum. But when he'll land up in the lunatic asylum, then what will he say? Was that for his hita that I said? Will he be then angry? So ultimately if you say the hita, saying is the point. Not doing, saying. You say the hita with your Vishuddhi chakra, then ultimately it becomes priya, means it is light. So you say a thing which is good for the spirit. Otherwise you just don't say. But people just say to others to correct them because they are aggressive. It should be done in love. Hita means done something in love. If you want to say something to someone in love and you feel it is necessary, and the third condition, you must have adhikara. You must have the right to say to the person. If you don't have the right, to just keep quiet. Let God look after. You are not in charge of anyone. But if you have to say to someone in love, and if you have an adhikara, then you have to say it. If you don't have the adhikara, you should not say anything to anyone unless and until it is absolutely priya to that person, involving his hita. This is what he put, that you should not do any anadhikar cheshta, means you should not do something unauthorized. Like I would say, somebody comes to me and says that, where is that person whom I want to murder? Then what is the truth? Should I tell him, all right, this is the truth, you go and kill that person? According to the strict government law, it may be. I don't know if it is. I don't understand the government laws at all, or the human laws. But it is not. Then what you have to tell him? You just keep quiet. He has no adhikar, he has no right to ask you or to get this information from you. You just keep quiet, I don't know. Then he may beat you, do anything, you just say, I don't know. It is anadhikar cheshta. It is done many a times. People who are, say, great nationalists who fight for their country, and people want to extract information from them. They suffer, but they will not give the information. Not out of fear, but out of love of their fellow men who are fighting for the freedom of their country. This has been done in our country many a times. So you don't speak something which is not the adhikara of another. He has no right to ask this question. Like that, one has to be very discreet, and that is what Sri Krishna has given us, his discretion. Many people ask me, Mother, then in this situation what should I do? In that situation what should I do? That means the person has not developed his Vishuddhi chakra to be discreet. He has not evolved, he is not mature enough, he is still asking me questions. In the Nirvikalpa state, you don't ask me any questions, you know exactly what is to be done. When to shout at somebody, when to be quiet, when to be silent, when to say something, and how far to go. All these qualities develop through proper Vishuddhi chakra, because you are doing it for the hita of another person. Sometimes it pays much more to keep quiet. This is what he has taught us. Not only taught us, but he has put it within us, the discretion part, in our Vishuddhi chakra. He has put within us the power to witness the drama, to be detached. He was Yogeshwara. He was Yogeshwara. He was the Ishvara of yoga. He was the one who is the giver of yoga, naturally, because Shiva is the one to be achieved. But the one who helps us is him, is Akbar, is the Mahalakshmi Tattva, is the central path which takes you to Shiva. So he is the one who takes us there. It is he who is supported by all the prophets. He works out this for you, this great work of evolution. So one can understand very clearly that if our Vishuddhi chakra is put right, we develop exactly how to be discreet in Sahaja Yoga. We devise a method by which we talk so much that makes people feel priya, that they appreciate, they like it, priya, loving, and also it does their hita. Even sometimes you have to say something which is harsh, or maybe your silence may make them feel little harsh, doesn't matter. It will give them ultimately their hita. So the ultimate goal is hita. That's what Krishna had in his mind, to do the hita. So his samhara shakti also, which he had, the killing, Many people criticize him for that, like the Jainis. You see, at the time of Sri Krishna, he had a cousin called Neminath. And Neminath was not Sri Krishna. He was just an ordinary human being who had achieved certain heights in evolution. He just got filled up with a kind of a feeling of a repulsion about killing animals. Of course, killing animals is not a very good thing, but he was not killing, and it was to be done for his marriage. So he developed such a strong feeling about it that he started a different thing from real Jainism, some sort of another path in which he said that there should be no killing of animals. It became so ridiculously funny that it reached a stage where bugs became more important than human beings. Even mosquitoes were more important. You see those people walking with this thing covered on their faces and on the street. Everything taken to the last nonsense. So, Sri Krishna gives you discretion. And this was very, 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 very important. Because all our problems of disintegration disappears when we have discretion. But mostly people don't have their Vishuddhi. All right. On the one side, there's a right Vishuddhi which gives us aggressiveness. With our talk, we aggress others. Most of the politicians have that kind of a capacity. But if they get mediums into them, like supraconscious, like Hitler had, he learnt it from some Tibetan lamas who taught them these all dirty tricks of overpowering people. He managed to put such spirits into them that they killed thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of human beings. The left Vishuddhi is another problem. Such people also don't have a collectivity sense because they are frightened of others. They are so negative, they always see the negative side of another person. I've seen people who come and tell me about every Sahaja, that's wrong with that Sahaja, this is wrong with that Sahaja, that's wrong with... No positive points at all. They only see the negative point. So they have no collectivity. They always have fear. All the time they are frightened of others because there's something in them that frightens them. So they have their left Vishuddhi very badly caught up because they are guilty. Especially in the West, you will be surprised, who are supposed to be such aggressive people. They have terrible left Vishuddhi because they, by their doing, build up a very big guilt within themselves. They see how they have been behaving, their community has been behaving, their country has been behaving, they develop a big guilt in their mind. Moreover, as Brian has told you, that it is cut, the roots are cut, and you start behaving in an anti-God manner, even without realizing that it's absolutely wrong. It's true. The left Vishuddhi comes up because they feel guilty, despite they're doing wrong things, with the knowledge that they are doing the right thing. They feel guilty. Because in the subconscious, the conscience of a person works it out. And that guilt is accumulating howsoever you may deny. But the left side goes on catching. And they have a left Vishuddhi. So one has to say that, Mother, I am not guilty.
We can stand up for Aarti. Can we have the new council members and the old council members? Thank you. Shri thank you so much for the meditation this evening. And our collective center, thank you for this immense blessing. We can raise our kundalini, take band and do namaskar. As everybody knows, we have a new Ontario Council now, and we'd like to welcome them if they'd like to come forward, if they're not too embarrassed or shy. Just maybe a few words. We did the same when we came, just a few words to say. And we'd like to... And on behalf of the old council, we'd like to say thank you to Shree Mataji for this wonderful opportunity she gave us, and please forgive us, Shree Mataji, if we made any mistakes. So if you want to say a few words, you can, if you like.
Okay. Jai Shree Mataji, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank our existing local council who have been working hard for so many years. It requires a lot of, personal time, doing so much of volunteer. So let's give them a big round of applause. And for the new team, so Shree Mataji is the doer, she is the enjoyer. So we are just her humbled instruments. So let's pray to Shree Mataji. She gives us Shri Ganesha's wisdom, as well as Shri Hanumana's energy to do her jobs with full spirit and vigor. Thank you, everyone. Jai Shree Mataji.
Jai Shree Mataji. Just wanted to let you know that we've been receiving lots of congratulations, but I think good luck for the new team will be most appropriate. So good luck to all of us for the next 2 years and 11 months. Jai Shree Mataji.
Jai Shree Mataji, everyone. I think Pailanti and Didi said such amazing words. So again, please feel free to always come to us. We are part of the collective. There's no hierarchy or anything. This is just a humbling opportunity for us to work for Shree Mataji. Thank you, everyone. Jai Shree Mataji.
Jai Shree Mataji, everyone. Yeah. So I would like to thank previous LOC members. They did really great job, and for us also, we are all together. Yeah, names can be different, names can be ABC, but we are all in the LOC, so we will all help each other, and we'll try to please Shree Mataji Mother, because all purpose to please her. And with all your help together, we will hope, we believe that we will please Shree Mataji Mother. Jai Shree Mataji. Yeah.
Jai Shree Mataji, everyone. We also have a birthday today. So if Chaitanya can please stand, we can all wish her and sing happy birthday to her. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chaitanya. Happy birthday to you. Woo.
So, on behalf of the National Council, we would like to thank the outgoing Ontario Council. So that's Jay Dehal, Kostya Korotich, and Vasily Grigorev. Can you please come forward? So for several years throughout the pandemic, they have looked after all the responsibilities of the Ontario Council. So we thank you very much with deep gratitude. And also one new development, starting with the Alberta Council renewal. Something we started is that in the past, when a council left, everybody left. And when the new people came, they basically started with almost a blank slate. And that's not fair to anybody. So starting with the Alberta Council earlier on in January, we asked the Alberta Council outgoing members to remain for a period of a year to help the new council members. So we are asking the same thing of the outgoing Ontario Council to please remain for a year to support the incoming council. So basically you will have 7 people now on the Ontario Council for a period of a year. Jai Shree Mataji. Thank you.